What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to part 2 of this replay here on Kulas Ravine. Terran versus Terran. Mobilizing out here, just going to come out and take a look at this contain, realize that it is in fact there, just going to try and figure out what in fact I am going to be doing to try and stop this. Need to be careful a little bit with that Marauder. One Marauder getting a little bit focused down, not actually losing it. Medvac's actually able to heal that up. Looks like he is in fact interested in moving up some Marines. He's going to be focused down, stim packing up, coming in here and trying to deal damage to this, being forced to retreat there. So trying to just pretty much battle back and forth, ground for ground here. So not sure what's going on. 2 siege tanks coming in. Not sure, really need to be careful with these siege tanks. Just coming in and just getting shot down for no apparent reason here. So losing one tank just getting focused down just a little bit. SCVs look like they are going to be able to repair it. Good job by RSX actually mobilizing up here, and looks like he is in fact going to be bringing out a Banshee to try and deal with this. So coming up here with these Vikings, trying to do a little bit more scouting. Going to go ahead and lay down an orbital scan and focus down that one Banshee. Meanwhile, back over here, going on for a little bit of a trade here, trying to focus down this Thor. So Thor just barely getting focused down, so a little bit of a trade going on there. Taking down some Marauders and one siege tank for a Thor. So one siege tank really low on hit points, down to 13 HP. So both players just pretty much battling for every inch of the map here. Meanwhile, we do have this gold crystal expansion just now being transferred here, and looks like we do have another expansion going on at the natural expo. So looks like RSX is going to be sitting at a pretty decent spot here, running out of 4 bases, still producing siege tanks, still producing, looks like he does have a Raven on the way as well, laying down an additional starport and another starport. So 2 additional starports here, and just continuously producing Marauders, siege tanks, and looks like I am going to be losing another tank there. So able to just scan that out, trying to get that tank into position to use these Vikings sight to basically take out this contain. So meanwhile, I do have just now completed my high yield mineral expansion, and looks like I am going to be transferring some workers, not quite yet. So should be transferring some workers here momentarily. Still just keeping an eye on this contain with these Vikings. Just want to make sure there's nothing tricky going on. Meanwhile, a little trickster RSX actually going to be moving up through this, I guess you could call it through this shortcut, dealing down these second destructible rocks, moving through this shortcut, going to come up here, lay down a scan, and looks like he is going to be interested in fact, pressing on upward to my front door. So a couple more medvacs coming out. Looks like I am going to be quickly to respond, bringing these Marauders up and these medvacs and Vikings up here. Should be stim packing up these Marauders here shortly. Looks like he is going to be moving up to siege up in this high ground. There we go, stim packing up and just able to focus down these siege tanks, landing up here and just able to deal damage. Nicely able to clean that up with these Vikings and these Marauders. Nice use of Stimpack. Looks like RSX just now researching Stimpack as well, so looks like he is in fact interested in going for that Stimpack on his Marauders. Very nice upgrade. Really does in fact need that actually. So here we go. Looks like I am going to be trying to press on upward through this shortcut as well right after that, and looks like I am going to scout out that he does in fact have this natural expansion going, and going to be trying to deal some damage to this. So Vikings going to come up here and focus this down. Going to stim pack up and catch these siege tanks a little bit out of position here, trying to deal as much damage as possible. Should be microing these up a little bit so these back Marauders can actually get in on the action. But it looks like they are going to be in fact just fine. Barely able to take down every single siege tank. We do have, looks like even the siege tank up on the high ground was focused down, and looks like he is going to be forced to bring 3 siege tanks back that were up on this high ground up here. And looks like he is in fact going to be trying to clean this up just fine here. But I'm going to be able to move these Vikings inward here. Is going to be sieging up this tank here, so a little bit of a scramble here, a little bit in trouble. Just able to move in here, but he does manage to clean it up, and I am forced to retreat these medvacs out. So going to be retreating back. Do have one Raven here, going to be retreating as well. So retreating back these Marauders. Medvacs Raven, actually, what is he doing coming in here? Just going to be completely forgetting about this Raven, and it's going to be misrallied coming into this base. So yeah, not sure what that is all about here. But meanwhile, we do have these siege tanks mobilizing back upward to try, and looks like he's interested in doing damage to this high yield expansion. We've got some more siege tanks on the way at this point coming down. But it does look like, in fact, I have scouted this out, going to be able to come down with some marauders and deal damage to this, however. So it looks like, in fact, siege tanks are going to come over here, siege up. Marauders just going to stim pack up and make short work of these siege tanks. So we do have a little bit of a low ground, kind of a split two-pronged attack here, trying to get a clamp off on this high yield, but looks like it isn't in fact going to work. Marauders just able to focus down. Looks like I did actually lose this Raven over here. Vikings were able to clean that up a little bit momentarily. So back down here in the bottom left-hand expansion, I am interested in taking this bottom left-hand expansion. Looks like he is in fact now going to be running off of 5 bases. So laying down his 5th expansion. Still not fully saturated at this natural, as I did come in here and deal tremendous damage to that. Looks like he is sitting just fine over here at this other expansion and at the high yield. So taking a look at that, at the income, he does have 66 to my 59 harvesters, as well as pretty even, I'd say. I mean, he has a huge gas advantage at this point. I'm not mining gas off of my 3rd base, so I don't really need that much gas. I'm going more of a marauder heavy, so it's not too much of a problem for me at this point. But for him, he's going for a lot of siege tank build. Looks like he is interested in coming back up here and getting back in position on this high ground. So just really interested in containing this expansion, denying this expansion, and just interested in controlling these Zell Nagas with these siege tanks. Meanwhile, I do have a large drop coming by here, so drop coming around. Going to be interested in trying to come in here and deal damage, getting kind of caught out of position by these Vikings, being forced to unload my cargo at this point. So Vikings being forced to retreat because of that one Thor. But it looks like I am going to in fact come in here and start to deal damage to this expansion, focus down this expansion, and just deal damage to all of these SCVs. Is he in fact, looks like he is going to be sieging up in this ground. Looks like I laid down an orbital scan and just scouted out, so I definitely don't want to move up to that ground. Sieging up on this high ground, however, so need to get these marauders out of there and figure out what I'm in fact going to be doing here. Should perhaps try to press on inward to this gold crystal. Gold crystal pretty unprotected here, but it looks like I am in fact going to be loading up into these medvacs and perhaps doing a stair step right into this high ground expansion here. So here we go, laying down that high ground expansion. Just gonna come in here, deal damage to this, and completely deny this high ground expansion. Tons of Vikings gonna come in here, however, and focus down all of these medvacs. So Thor gonna come in here, Thor not really dealing too much damage to these Vikings. Not the best counter to Vikings, but looks like he is in fact going to be sieging up down on this low ground, using this orbital command as a scout, kind of to enable vision to this high ground so that he can rain siege tank shells down on this Thor and on all of those marauders. So meanwhile, we do have another group, a small task force moving out here. Looks like I am going to be grabbing this natural expansion. A small task force of marauders going to be making their way over to this gold crystal expansion. Should be stim packing up here momentarily. Medvac's way out of position here, so just kind of doing a little bit of a move there and just kind of misrallying this. Thor, on the other hand, baller Thor, up to 12 kills. Not sure what's going on, just focusing down tanks here. He took down like 3 or 4 tanks right there, and 2 more tanks just not really attacking this Thor. So it needs to focus here, as I am doing a little bit of a 2-pronged attack. Going to be able to focus down this command center here, and looks like I am going to load these marauders back into these medvacs and just abuse the immobility of the siege tank army that he does in fact have, and just land over on this expansion as well, and just try and deny as many expansions as I possibly can. Taking a look, you guys need to be paying attention to this income tab. He is down to 200 minerals per minute with 39 harvesters. He has nowhere to mine from at this time, completely denying every single mining location. Looks like he is going to be going for one desperate final attack, but these marauders should be able to clean this up just perfectly. So he is laying down that point defense drone there, but looks like it isn't really going to matter. Just going to come over here, stim pack with these Marauders and get us complete the round off on those tanks. Focus that down. He's down to 0 income per minute, and there is the GG. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. Epic Terran versus Terran here on Kulas Ravine.